6. Ron, thanks for joining. How are you? Doing all right there?
I'm doing well. Another episode, and we still have tons of stuff to talk about because it's back, right?
Football is back, baby.
Thank God, in the nick of time.
So
yeah,
that takes us that takes up our leadoff story. So the New England Patriots won their first preseason game last night, defeating the Washington football team 22-13. What were some of your takeaways from the game?
My takeaway is that I think right about Mac Jones.
Okay.
Now, it wasn't
disagree.
a perfect game.
Okay.
It wasn't a perfect game by no means. That's okay if you disagree. I knew you were going to disagree because you think Cam is the savior.
That's not what I think. Let's not do that.
But what I'm saying is, when I'm looking at him playing, the first thing I see is there's no panic. There is no. He seems calm and collective.
He looks poised.
I know
very poised.
And I was a little worried about those passes. He was throwing into traffic, but I gotta believe that he knows what he's doing. He didn't have those nervous steps in the pocket that I saw anyway. I thought that was fine. And I think a lot of those missed passes that I think it's just being new to the NFL and the speed of it. So I think he needs to get the speed of NFL, in check, and I think that will come soon. Yeah, I don't look. I hope he is the starter. I hope he is the
just
starter.
Let me know when it's my turn, because
there's a lot of him that I like. Go ahead.
No. I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
Go. No. Go ahead.
So I looked at a couple things. Mac Jones, 13 for 19, 87 yards. He took a sack, right? Cam Newton, 4 for 7, 49 yards. Cam did 2 series. Mac had a few more. Rushing the ball, absolutely key. 179 yards rushing on 25 carries as a team. Yep. Ramondre Stevenson, 10 carries, 127 yards, 2 touchdowns. Kid looks like a legitimate running back. Like to see them move him up to the number 2 at this point and see if he can do it, with better talent around him. Here are my concerns, though. They passed as a team for 141 yards.
Not enough.
If they don't get the rushing, they don't get the touchdowns. Mac Jones led him to a couple field goals. Cam Newton led him to a field goal. That is the same issues we had last season of not getting the ball in the end zone. They need to get the ball in the end zone. They need to develop a passing game. Yep. No wide receiver stood out to me. Wilkinson had a couple of catches, but they kept throwing the ball to him. So he had 6 catches, I think 30-something, 40 yards maybe. All I've heard about in camp was N'Keal Harry. N'Keal Harry is tearing it up. Looking amazing. N'Keal Harry. Everything N'Keal Harry. He had 1 catch for 4 yards.
It was a great catch. It was superb.
Right? So here we go again. Same exact scenario.
Right.
He doesn't look any better. I thought that the tackling was very poor. I thought they could have done a much better job of tackling. I mean, I like Judon. You could see the speed and him getting on the outside and creating pressure. He's going to be a huge piece for us. But I'm still disappointed with the fact that they gave up 24 first downs, all on passing. Our secondary last year was okay. They looked just as okay last night. I understand Stephon Gilmore is not there, and I get it. If he's back, hopefully it seems a little better. But they also had 9 penalties in that game, and you consider the fact that they were the least penalized team in the league last year. For them to go out and have 9 penalties in that game, it already shows that they have some bad habits that they need to break out of. They've got 2 more weeks to start to straighten this out. And I am fearful of the wide receivers. I didn't like what I saw from the wide receivers.
No, and that seems to be the biggest problem now. That's on offense. That's the problem. Is the wide receivers? They're not getting it done. They're not getting open. And you can't blame either quarterback for that. Like they have to, you almost have to throw it into traffic because they're not getting open,
Exactly.
and they're not doing enough. But you can't blame either quarterback for that.
No, and that's what I'm saying. I don't think Mac looked bad. I liked what I saw.
No.
I liked his poise, his composure. He definitely moved in the pocket. I like what I saw. But if he doesn't have wide receivers, Tom Brady in 2019 didn't have wide receivers, and we got bounced in the first round of the playoffs. I don't care how great you are, and he's the greatest of all time. Mac Jones can be as good as we think he can be. If they don't get him wide receivers to help him out and to start to get separation and make that game a little easier for him, they're going to be in trouble again.
Yeah, they need a receiver. We need a big time receiver. And look, they had opportunities to get one this year. It's clear that I think Bill really knows to get a receiver. I really don't think he does. And I don't know what the problem is with that. We don't have a guy in the slot like we've had, I don't even know how long, last 20 years with Walker and Edelman. We don't have a guy. Who do we have? We don't have that.
We don't.
We don't have, somebody that get going down, have that. And look, oh my God, Jones made a great pass to the receiver going to the left side down the field.
Yeah, Wilkinson.
It hit his hands.
Yeah,
it hit his hands. You gotta make that catch. That's a great throw. The kid made a great throw, and you drop the ball.
Throw.
Yeah,
perfect throw. So again, I think Aguilar being out, I don't think he's the key either. So we could say, oh well, they weren't fully healthy. I don't think that helps. I'm a little concerned. I agree, Dan. You're 100% right.
That's an excuse for the White.
But you need to see these wide receivers. I really expected to see a little more out of N'Keal Harry. I didn't see it. I like the Jonnu Smith. The one catch he did make, he breaks tackles. That's what they said he's here to do, and I can see it. But I really expected to see a little more from that wide receiver core, and we didn't see it.
Yeah, the only thing you can see now is see who comes out of camp that gets cut for whatever reason, salary issues, and try to get a receiver that way. I don't know who's available right now on the receivers. It's agent market, but it can't be much. I mean, if there's anybody, you got to sign somebody. You got to sign somebody that can pick up the offense, that has some intelligence to do it.
They need some help.
Hell, they don't even have to know the offense. Just get open, for Christ's sakes.
Yeah. So again, it doesn't matter who starts for the Patriots right now. Whoever starts for the Patriots, they need help at wide receiver. So as to Dan's point, relax. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't want to go 7-9 or 7-10 this season. I expect this team to make the playoffs with all the personnel that they picked up. So my concern would be is if we have the same passing attack that we had last season, this team has a good chance of not going to the playoffs. That's my concern. We need to see more out of these wide receivers. All right, let's move on to some NBA because I'm going to get fired up about this as well.
Yeah.
I can't.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Dennis Schroeder signed a 1-year deal with the Boston Celtics for $5.9 million. Is this a good signing for the Boston Celtics?
Wait, is it Schroeder or
Schroeder? Is the way you pronounce it.
I'm not really asking. Actually, no.
The two dots over the O.
It is a good signing for the Celtics.
You're right. I can't.
Yeah. Okay, two dots over the O. It is. Okay. Yeah. Schroeder. But it's a pickup. It's a good pickup to have. I mean, look, I'll be honest, and I made a comment during the regular season when Tatum carries the ball out of the Celtics side, he scares me. So he doesn't seem like he's in control of the ball. I don't know if he is or not. I mean, but my eyes are seeing that he have control. And I want a point guard on the team that does have control and that can do the things needed to set plays up. Because we can't have Brown do it and we can't have Tatum do it. Because those are the guys that need to get the ball. So you need somebody to give them the ball to score. I don't want to see one of those guys bring it up because then you are limited. You're limited. Then you have one other guy to pass to.
All right.
So
I'm ready now.
yeah,
I listened to you.
It's a good.
So I've got a few things that are going to bother me about this. So last season he averaged about 15 points a game, 3.5 rebounds, almost 6 assists. He shot 33% from three-point range, 43% from the field. Not very good.
Yeah.
In his 5-year career, he's averaging 14 points a game, almost 3 rebounds, a little less than 4.7 assists. Shoots 33% from 3, 43 from the field. His best season.
I don't want this guy shooting at all.
Hold on, though. His best season, he was he had 19 points a game. His shooting percentage from 3 that year, 29%.
No.
I don't think this guy is going to do what you think he's going to do. He needs to get paid. He turned down a 4-year, $84 million extension with the Lakers. The only way he's going to get a contract, he thought he was going to get $100 million plus, is what he was looking for. The only way he's getting that is by he needs to score. He's going to hurt this team more than help him.
I mean, if he does it that way, what did he sign for?
5.9.
Why would he turn down $84 million? Why would he turn that down and pay at?
He bet on himself.
9?
He gambled on himself. He thought he was going to be able to get $100 million.
He was offered $84 million by the Lakers.
He was. No, he turned it down. He was offered $84 million from the Lakers.
That's just asinine. Yeah, it's asinine. Yeah.
So
okay.
All
this
these
is
Celtic.
what
Go ahead.
I am hoping. I am hoping he brings the ball up and dishes it off.
I'll be right back. Go ahead. I'm listening.
No, I just look. I mean, for what they have, this is a good signing for them. It's what as he leaves. It is so desperately Celtics need is a guard that can bring the ball up and distribute the ball properly. I don't want him to shoot. I don't want him to shoot because I don't go through a year where you see somebody shooting 25%. You know, I don't want that.
I get your point.
What I want is the ball to get into the hands of guys.
So listen, though. He needs to score.
Look,
he wants to get paid. He needs to score. That's not going to happen if he's averaging 8 points, you know what I mean, a game. So he bet on himself thinking he was going to get a $100 million contract. It didn't happen. This is the problem with Celtic fans today. They're okay with mediocre players that they feel they come to Boston, all of a sudden they're going to turn it around or change. They're not. He's here to try to get paid now. It has nothing else to do with it. He's going to try to average 20 points a game. He's going to chuck up threes like crazy, and he's going to hurt this team, and he's not going to distribute the ball because he needs to score. I don't understand what it's no better than having Marcus Smart as your point guard. It's the same thing, and he shoots the same percentage.
Do they still have Marcus Smart?
Marcus Smart still currently is on the team. They're looking at it, making an extension for him as well.
Okay, so this is simple, really. If he does just start chucking the ball up and shooting poorly, they can have Smart start. And look, we know that Smart is erratic shooting. You never know what you're going to get at any given point. Know that. But his defense is really good, and I will take that on the defensive side. So, guys starting it up, I expect to say, hey, you know what? Until you stop doing that, you're sitting the bench. I go with Smart, and I can accept that. But if he comes in here and he's the point guard that we need, get Tatum and get Brown the ball, that's really good. That's what we need from him. We need an actual point guard, and that's what we. If we get, then this is a great pickup. Don't get that, then it's business as usual. Like I said, with the new regime.
All right, let's move on. Should the Clippers fans
I don't
be
know
happy?
what to tell you. Like, like the list that you gave coming up.
Yeah, we'll discuss that on a pick and roll. All right, should Clippers fans be happy with the team re-signing Kawhi Leonard to a 4-year, $176 million deal?
If they don't re-sign him, they ain't going anywhere. Like it says that.
So I looked at a couple things. So he's never played a full season in his career. In 2019, he played 60 games. 2020, he played 57. Last year, he played 52, and then 11 games in the playoffs. You're paying for a player that you know is not going to be on your team probably 20-plus games a season.
Yeah.
I'd be a little concerned if I was Clipper fans.
Oh, I'm not saying they shouldn't be concerned, but they have the pieces that can get them far into the playoffs. But if disaster strikes and they make the playoffs, you can shuffle them out to a team that needs another player in a trade. And I think eventually what's going to happen with Kawhi, and they're going to get a boatload if they trade him. A boatload. Like, believe me, I know Brittle. I don't want Brittle.
Yeah. No, I'd be concerned. I don't know. It just doesn't seem like this guy can stay healthy, and we don't even know how he's going to bounce back from this injury. I don't think he's going to be ready for the regular season, from what I'm hearing. So you're already talking about missing games into next season. All right. Once again, if you're joining us, we're live on. If you're joining us, we're live on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook, YouTube, and later on Twitch. At Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter. At Broadcasting RI on Twitter. Sports_Unfolded on Instagram. And our podcast on Google, Anchor, and Spotify. So plenty of ways to watch, follow. Appreciate all the support. Dan, one of our regular viewers, appreciate you joining us again tonight. All right, we're going to move on to our triple play. And our triple play tonight, we're going to decide who we'd start, bench, and cut from these three PSG soccer teammates. So Neymar, Messi, and Mbappe. Mbappe. That's it. There we go. Mbappe. I'm first tonight, aren't I?
Yes, you're first.
All right. So I'm going to start Neymar. I think he's in his prime.
Go ahead.
He would definitely be my start for Neymar. I just think he's up and coming. Actually, no, he's in his prime at this point. I'd bench Messi. I just think Messi has what I want because I know he can instantly score and what he's done in the past. And Mbappe. I knew I was going to mess this up. Mbappe I would cut only because he's younger and I don't know exactly what he's made of. But those are my three.
Yeah, basically that pretty much nails it. Neymar, I think, um, he's recognized as maybe the best player in the world right now. He's got one name, so you don't go wrong if you have one name, right?
I think we
So,
did
but
a pick
he
and roll
is
once on that.
yeah, he's the guy that's just hitting his prime. He's got a lot of years to come. He's the guy that I want out there running up and down the field, scoring some goals. Messi, maybe one of the best ever, if not the best. And just his knowledge of the game, you want on there. So I put him on the bench, telling all my young guys how to play and do this, do that, look for that. You have to have that on your team. And so Mbappe, find another team. Sorry, but you just don't have room for you here. So yeah,
It should be fun though.
It's
That
the same.
PSG
It's the
team's
same
gonna be
reason. And
yeah, that PSG team's going to be, force. They're like the Brooklyn Nets, the big three. You know what I mean?
yeah, but these guys can still move. They don't need a walker yet. So all right,
Let's talk some Major League Baseball. Let's talk some Major League Baseball.
Wait, is it
Major League Baseball help?
It's still going on?
It's still going. Yeah, it's still going, buddy. It's still there. I know you don't want to talk about it, but we got to because we cover all sports.
Oh, is that what this is?
Yes, it's a sport. So Major League Baseball held their Field of Dreams game last night with the Chicago White Sox defeating the New York Yankees in dramatic fashion. What were your thoughts about the idea?
Well, like the movies, so I could care less about the idea. Look, it's a gimmick. It's a gimmick. Okay, this is baseball now trying to find something that the NHL does with their, their New Year's Day game. That's all it is. But there's only one problem. It's baseball. It's boring, and nobody's coming out to watch like they used to. It's like it's just I don't know. It's just dumb. It's just dumb to me. And why the Yankees and Chicago White Sox? Like,
I think Cal.
If you're gonna do this game, the first one you do, no, it doesn't matter. The first one you do should be the rivalry, okay? The rivalry, and we all know the rivalry in baseball is Yankees. That's the rivalry. And if you're not doing that one, then you do the Dodgers Giants. And if you're not doing that one, you're doing the Yankees Mets. That should be first. First one should be the rivalry. I mean, it's a no-brainer. No, let's put the Chicago Sox. Back then, legit. So it's
but I think that's what they try to go with the
Baseball's
movie too.
All wrong.
Yeah, because Shoeless Shoeless Joe Jackson, and that was kind of the premise. Of the movie. So you use the White Sox. It kind of fit.
Point I'm making, baseball does it all wrong every time. Every time there's a decision like this, it's all wrong. So why?
I loved it.
Why? Yeah, but why are you making it Chicago White Sox that basically stained baseball for so long? It makes no sense. It makes no sense.
I think overall what they tried to do is they tried to get the White Sox involved. They were playing the Yankees this week. It just happened to work out that this was supposed to happen last year, but due to COVID, it got shut down. I thought the field looked great. I loved the Kevin Costner piece. I loved them walking out from the cornfields like the movie. I thought they did a lot of things well. And then the way it ended, even as a Yankee fan, the way it ended, it was like a movie, a storybook ending, like right out of Hollywood. It was perfect. Like if every game that is played there ends like that, I mean, it's just perfect. It's like The Natural when he hits the lights. It's, who expects them to come back and win that game?
See, now
the Yankees just went
that would be so. Yeah.
You want to replicate that and make sure somebody hits lights next time. All right.
I don't know. I'm just saying, like, let's not bring up a stain in Major League Baseball history and celebrate. It makes none. It's just stupid, and they should be embarrassed that they did it.
I thought they did a great job. Let's move on to the AL wildcard race that's heating up. Which team right now is probably going to get in? So Oakland and Boston are currently in. The Yankees set 2 games back. Toronto 2.5 back. Oakland's won 7 straight. Boston's been 3-7 in their last 10. Of the 2 that are in right now, which team is most likely not going to get in?
Okay. So here are my thoughts. I did some number looking, and I'm seeing the ages around the league too. It's even just the Red Sox. And I mentioned this the other day. Does Franchi Cordero still have a job in Major League Baseball? Like, really? He came up to the plate, batting 194. 3 pitches later, struck out. Like, he couldn't catch up to a 90-mile-an-hour fastball. He couldn't catch up to it. That's insane. That's insane. Like, how do you still have a job here? He does, and he's not the only one batting around that 200 mark. There's a lot of players doing that, and several of them are in Boston. And if they don't fix that, they ain't going anywhere. So, of the 2 right now, I could see the Red Sox slipping right now. And I didn't say that last week.
No, you didn't.
Like, a lot has changed a week. Because now you also have Matt Barnes is having trouble. If he's having trouble, you're in trouble because he's your closer. So, right now, it looks like the rest will slip out.
So I have to agree with you. I think we talked about it last week when we talked about the trades and what Boston did and how they didn't really acquire a player yet. That's hurting them. Regardless, I don't think that Schwab is going to actually help that average anyway because he's another one of those swing for the fences guy. The league's changed. Baseball has changed. It's more about home runs. The averages are I mean, you bat 250 right now. You look like a hero. And it's changed a lot where it's sad. I mean, baseball basically has just become you strike out or you hit home run.
I remember maybe it was about 3 years ago where, the Red Sox team would be 272, which is phenomenal. Everybody was able to hit. And now you got 3 guys in the lineup that can hit. And that's it. Three guys. JD, Devers, and that's what you got.
Yeah, I mean, it just seems like basically the league, if you look at what the media has done and basically promotes home runs. You watch ESPN, you watch Fox, you watch your local news when they show your local teams. All they show is the home runs. That's what these kids are growing up to watch. So that's all they're trying to do. And what ends up happening is it hurts your average.
So Dan said that Marwin Gonzalez got cut. Another one. That was another player that that was hitting like 200. And he's just awful. He's awful.
You got to remember Ron. You got to remember Ron though. Dan
sucked.
Dan has
he's sucking the rest of the players too.
Dan came out on a previous show and he was wrong. So let's make sure we confirm that before.
Yeah, and it's always false. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised, but I'd rather have Frenchie go. At least Marwin can play every position.
Let's talk a little
I don't know.
NL East.
I mean, it's just insane what's seeing in the league, throughout the league.
Yeah, NL East is extremely close. Which team is going to win the division? So the Philadelphia Phillies have taken over the division. Mets are a half a game behind. The Braves are 1 game behind. In the last 10, Phillies won 8 of 10. Mets have lost 6 of 10, and the Braves are 7-3. Who you get? Who you taking?
The Mets are looking like the rest of the National League right now. I gotta say, Atlanta is probably eventually gonna fall. Like those injuries that they keep getting, just like that's hard to overcome for a long and long. So I gotta think they're gonna fall out of it eventually. But I mean, you gotta give them credit for still being there right now. And
yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Pitching is where it's at, and and these 3 teams, I'll tell you, these 3 teams, I like all 3 teams, to be honest with you, even though I don't like Bryce Harper, but like the teams, how they are set up, and it's a shame if any miss the playoffs. I think Atlanta will be out. I'm thinking that I'm still going to go with the Mets, only because pitching though, like, but they have to stay healthy.
Yeah, but they were they're hurt.
Once you stop,
they're hurt,
weighing in all these things, and then the obvious choice goes to Philadelphia, right?
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah.
If Mets can't stay healthy, Atlanta. Yeah.
Yeah, I would definitely say Phillies in the driver's seat right now.
I mean, I really think even though I'd rather have the Mets go. I'm not, even though they beat the Sox. I'm not a Met hater. Yeah, it's whether or not the Mets can get healthy.
And I did confirm Dan is correct.
I know what's going on, why the Dodgers can't catch the Giants, because I really don't think the Giants are that good. Well, I'm glad. Now I need another one to go.
Yeah, he got his sign so they can bring up Schwarber. So Schwarber must be ready to come back.
Getting back to the Sox, do we not do the Red Sox miss Sandy Leone? I think they do. I think he was there. I let him go. So
I think they missed.
For Christian
I think they miss Alex Cora cheating.
Now
that's what they missed. Alex Cora needs to figure out how to cheat better.
Well, that's another story. You know how I feel about that too. So I don't think they should have re-signed him. I don't think he's that good of a manager if he can't cheat to win. Look! If they don't make the playoffs, whose fault is it? Because every game that I watch, I'm sitting there, it's like, okay, why are you taking him out? He's pitched great. I don't care if he's getting up in the pitch count. Let him go. Let him go. And then they sit there and it's clobbered, and he doesn't take a pitcher out, knowing that this guy is getting brutalized in there. It makes, like, every game I question 2 or 3 judgments that the scorer makes. And it just proves the point of what happened, with Houston and the Red Sox.
How quick the Sox fans turn. I love it. We're going to move on to some NFL.
Oh, I'm not. No, hey, I said that. Look, I said that before the season even started. Before this started, I didn't like Alex Cora. Did not like him. I wanted Veritek.
I gotcha. All right, let's move on to some NFL. So there's some big news happening over in New Orleans. So there's been some rumblings with star wide receiver Michael Thomas and the New Orleans Saints. Should the team look to trade him?
Yeah. Why not? I mean, if somebody is not having a problem, it's going to spread in the locker room. So you got to trade him.
All right. So in 5 seasons,
if it's just
510
if
receptions.
it's just rumblings, if it's rumors, then no.
All right. Hold on now. 5 seasons, 510 receptions, 5,950 yards, 32 touchdowns. He averages over 100 yards a season, over 1,000 yards a season. Where you getting that production anywhere else?
Well, you're not. If you're going to trade him, then you're basically saying, okay, season over. Like, what are you doing? Now, the reason why I say that is if they trade him, New Orleans then realizes that they need to if they're not trading him, then then they'll be okay, but they're still not going to go anywhere. They don't Breeze anymore.
Yeah, without Breeze, I mean, they need all the help they can get. I wouldn't trade him at this point. I would just live with it and see if we can get
Patriots,
through it.
I'm sure.
No, without a doubt. Yes, but I no. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, well.
Speaking of the Patriots, tight end Hunter Henry is expected to miss a few weeks with a shoulder injury.
Boy, wouldn't that be nice, though?
Shouldn't the Patriots be concerned?
I was a little bit concerned because, look, he's gonna be the guy. He's gonna be the guy that you have to throw the ball to because nobody else is doing it. So you have to have somebody that the quarterback is going to feel comfortable with. That guy is Hunter Henry, which I don't know if it isn't, but you got to think that is it going to be that safety net for a quarterback? Whether it's blocking or receiving, you can't miss this guy. This guy needs to be in the lineup. And new team. We know how it is with the Patriots offense. Players don't get accustomed to it too easily.
Yeah. So he's missed 25 games in his 5-year career. He missed all of 2018 with an ACL. This was my one concern when we signed him, is that there's a good chance that he's going to miss some games. He hasn't played a full season either in his career. We just talked about Kawhi. They're counting on this guy to be there for 17 games. If we get 12, I'd be surprised.
Yeah. I mean, we said it before. When free agency was going wild, like you mentioned it, and we were grading all those Patriots that they picked, and a lot of what they picked up was speculation, and right now a lot of those guys aren't doing what we had hoped. At least right now, it is only one game of preseason, so we got to wait and see. Once the season starts, then we'll know. Then we know what we're in for, and I hope it's good. Get into that lineup to make me feel better, because that's one of the key guys that they picked up, at least offensively.
Once again, if you're joining us, we're on Rhode Island Broadcasting. We're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on Facebook and YouTube, later on Twitch. at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter. So follow us there. At Broadcasting RI on Twitter. Sports_Unfolded on Instagram, and our podcast on Anchor, Google, and Spotify. So plenty of different ways to watch, follow. Appreciate all the fans. Appreciate everybody that's joined us on a regular basis. We're going to go. You know what time it is, Ron?
It's time for pick and roll.
Pick and roll, baby. Pick and roll. So this week's pick and roll, we're going to rank these 5 Boston Celtics pickups so far from this offseason. Al Horford, Enes Kanter, Josh Richardson, Dennis Schroeder, and Chris Dunn. And I am going first.
Wait, before you start,
go ahead.
Why do we always pick things that are crappy? Why can't we pick good players?
I know. This is why I'm going to show you right
Just
now with
saying.
my list is why the Boston Celtics are going to tank and absolutely not even make the playoffs. If you're ready.
No, see,
and Dan's excited about Schwarber playing first. Good luck with that.
They can't even do tanking right. Like let's be honest. Like if you're going to tank, then tank. Let's
I
get
do my
rid of
list,
everybody and start over. But they can't do that right. So
all right,
let's go.
I'm at number 5. Chris Dunn. So 5 years, he's averaged 8.2 points, 3.3 assists, rebounds, and 4 assists. I think he's going to actually be a trade piece for another move. I don't even know if he'll be with the team once it's all said and done after they picked up Schroeder. So we'll see. At number 4, Al Horford. He's been in the league 14 years. I mean, he's averaged almost 14 points, 8 rebounds, 3 assists. When he was with Boston, he averaged 13 and 7 in his last season. But he's not a player now that's going to help contribute. I think he's more of a role player. They're just going to utilize him for minutes here and there, but I don't think he's going to be able to do what we need him to do. Number 3, Enes Kanter. So 12-year career, 11.5 points, almost 8 rebounds. Really never throws an assist in there, so we're not even going to count that. When he was with Boston last, he averaged 8 points and 7 rebounds. But last season, he had a double-double. We talked about it last week. Hopefully that's the guy we're getting. Because if not, we're really in trouble with the big men. At number 2, at least Josh Richardson. So 5 years, 12.3 points, 3 rebounds, and almost 3 assists. It's a good backup for Jaylen Brown. I think he's still going to be playing some minutes and have some impact with the team. He's going to see some good time. But this is why this season's going to tank, because that means Dennis Schroeder is their best pickup so far. And after what I just said about him, I have no faith. But 8 years in the league, averaged 14 points, almost 3 rebounds, almost 5 assists. He's probably going to start over Smart. It gives us a little more depth on the bench with Smart coming off the bench because that's a key player. But I don't like what this guy's going to bring to the team. So that's my pick and roll. I'm rolling with it, but I'm not happy about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, when you get business as usual, this is what you get, right? Like the change from Danny Ainge to what we got. Save the carbon copy. So number 5, I have Chris Dunn. Yeah, like it was why sign him? As you said, probably a trade piece. But they'll find another way to screw it up, and they'll end up getting to them. So number 4, I have Enes Kanter. Like he had, like we've talked about it several times. 11-11. Those are great numbers last year. Yep. But are we gonna get that? He's not consistent. And how many years did he sign? Was it 3?
I think it's a 1-year deal. No, I think it's
Is it a 1 year? Okay, so that might be the only thing that saves them with, because now he has to play for another contract if it's 1 year. So I feel a little better about it. Not much better because he's not going to have a good year. Number 3, Josh Richardson. Yeah, I like his numbers. You know, he averaged 12.1 last season. You know, 3 whole rebounds and 2 whole assists. You know, he's going to come off the bench because he's not starting ahead of Brown. That's for sure. But again, he could end up being a star if Brown can't stay healthy. So, you know, he might be valuable than what you think. Number two, I have Al Horford, and I know you keep saying he's not the player he once was, and isn't. But he did manage to get 14 points a game last year, and he did manage to get 6.5 assists last year. I mean rebounds, right? And he did still put 3 assists on the board.
And he played 28 games. Played 28 games.
Has some value. He can still do some things. But the thing that he brings is what he shows on the court. Is leadership that we keep saying that Tatum. This is the guy last season before the playoff run. This is a guy that was, because he could have gotten that team. And I look, when he's out and he doesn't say much, he does his job, you know, but he's one of those guys that can get others to be better than what they're doing. And I think the leadership is valuable there. And number 1, I have Schroeder. Again, this is the best that they could come up with. The fact that he's going as your starting point guard, I'm not necessarily sure he's going to end that way. And for the reasons we discussed earlier, you know, if he starts chucking the ball up and missing, find his way to the bench. And, you know, but if he comes in and point guard is supposed to do, then that's a good pickup. If not, then it's a bad pickup. So number 5 on the list.
All right, so I know we're on a delay, but I'm going to ask you this one question. When Al Horford was here, and was he not a leader then? Because they didn't do any better with him here. So I don't understand what the difference is the second time around.
That's a valid point. It's a valid point. It was a very different team back then. You know, you're looking at where you had some Irving guy that was in the way as well. You know? Like, it was a very different team. There was some play on this team that really, truly did not here and made it difficult for everybody. And I got to say, he might have chased Al Horford.
All right, we'll see how it turns out, but that was our pick and roll. We're going to move on to our face-off.
It's not going to turn well. It's not going to turn out well.
But it's face-off time. And our face-off, you had asked for an Olympic topic, so we covered it. We're going to go ask, should the Olympics only reward one athlete? So they should just give out gold. One of us has to be for this. One of us has to be against this. I'm not sure if Dan is still there. If Dan can chime in. Who wants it? Who's for? Who's against? If not, we'll have to pick it.
This is the best you came up with? For that matter, you should trade her as the face-off.
Schroeder.
Schroeder. I think the Schroeder from the old TV show.
Yes. Yeah.
But this is like a no-win situation for whoever gets it.
Yeah. It was on Alice.
No.
Look at Alice. No, wasn't he?
No,
wasn't he part of
it? It was his own show.
Oh, really?
I don't know if it was named Schroeder, but
Ricky Schroeder.
You know, it was
like a Ricky Schroeder.
Ricky Schroeder, yeah.
Silver spoons.
Silver spoons. That's what it was. Yes.
There we go. I mean, all right. How about this? I'll let you pick. I go first, but what do you want, for or against?
Oh, I want against one. I don't want 4. That's
All
a lose. It's a lose. It's a lose.
I'm for it. So
Go ahead.
All
Let's
right.
see what you got.
All right. So I looked at it this way. If you win an NBA title, does the second team get a trophy for coming in second? No. NFL,
Yes.
you lose the Super Bowl. Does another team come in second? No. They win their conference, they get trophies. To lose the biggest game, so if that's the last game of the year, they do not get another trophy for losing the game. So
No,
you
but
get
they already
gold.
got their second
Yep.
trophy.
You got gold. You won. Why should somebody else get a second trophy? It's a participation trophy, is what it is. Silver and bronze are participation
It's
trophies.
not a participation. It's not a
They lost
participation.
to the best person,
look
the
at it.
best athlete.
You were talking hundreds of athletes. You were talking hundreds of athletes. Eric. You gotta
What does that
gotta
got to do with
reward
anything?
the top 3. It's
No.
always
For what?
it's like that. Look, it's
Why?
like that in hockey and dog tracks. It's the same thing.
That's for betting purposes, so you
Win,
bet on where you think
place,
they're going
and
to finish.
show. Same thing.
Okay, that's for betting purposes.
It doesn't matter. It's
This is
still
not betting.
there.
It's
It's
just
still
to win.
there.
It's just to represent your country and win it all. No way should
You
they
win
get a silver
the trophy
or a bronze.
of your. Yes, and this. Look, there are many countries involved. There are too many athletes in most
So,
of these things. You're talking some of these.
guy
some
that
of these
finishes fourth, why doesn't he get
events,
aluminum?
they have hundreds.
Fourth place, aluminum. Fifth place, you get a plastic. Come on. Let's forget it. I mean,
Do
'cause
it.
they're all betting.
Do it.
They're
Why
all
not? Why
participating.
not?
They're all in it.
Why not?
They're all out
Right,
of control.
and why not?
Gold and only gold. The only way to go.
No,
That is clearly
No.
what makes sense.
no, because it's more of the let's do this for the athletes. These athletes put their heart and soul
Get there.
years and years,
You're there.
and I
Okay.
think top 3 is very, very wise in Olympics because of that fact.
So the
You
guy that
reward
finished
these.
10th,
Look,
the guy that finished 10th didn't
You
work
get
all these years to get there either. According
gets
to
a
your theory, why not
pencil.
give him something? Here's a Baylor.
He gets
Hey, here's
pencil.
a here. I drew one on a piece of paper that says "Great
Yeah.
job for trying." You're out of control. Gold and only gold. It makes
Right.
sense. That's why we
Yes.
did this argument,
He gets
because it clearly makes sense to not have a
No
participation.
gold. Come on, that's
Trophy.
stupid.
Participation.
That's stupid. No, it
Great job
doesn't
trying.
make any
Good job.
It doesn't make sense.
You
it
lost
doesn't
to the
make
best person,
sense.
and we're going to still give you
Because-
something for it.
You have look. There are countries. No. You have to worry about those countries that never win. Like
They still didn't win.
some country,
They didn't
like-
win. They finished second.
like
They didn't win. They finished
Macadamia.
second, third.
We'll just
They
say
didn't win.
I don't
did
want
they
to
win?
insult a real country. They go
Okay.
in. They never win medals. They have no. They still have. Doesn't matter.
They didn't win.
Yes, but they countries need, and we should be more than happy
all right.
to do that.
This is my last point.
That self is big. Like
This is my
remember the
last
Jamaican
point.
bobsled team?
This
Could
is
you
gonna hurt me.
imagine?
This is gonna hurt me.
Could you imagine
This is my last point.
coming in second with that Jamaican
The New England
bobsled
Patriots
team?
were
Like that
18-0.
would be amazing. Don't you think that silver
18-0.
would be amazing for them? You got to think of it that
They
way.
lost the Super Bowl. Would you have felt better if they had gotten like a second place
There's
trophy?
no point. You have none. Oh God. And all you hate mail too.
Clearly won that argument.
They did. You got the AFC trophy.
They won for winning their division.
They did.
You get a trophy for winning your division. not for
There you
losing the
go,
biggest
second
game.
place right there, baby.
You lost your game. That is in
Right
second place
there.
because the Giants got a trophy too for winning their division.
You did not win.
And then they get a
the
trophy
argument.
for winning the
It's a
big
dumb
game.
argument.
Not
Shouldn't
it's
even
a
have
perfect
been
argument.
on this because it's that bad.
It's a perfect argument.
But now they could
Let's
great
go on to
episode.
predictions. Let's move on to predictions. On 8-13, the Dodgers at the Mets. It's a 3-game series.
No, it's not.
I can't. We're at such a delay.
Okay, you're killing me. Wait, what happened to the other game?
8-13, Dodgers at Mets. 3-game series.
I'm going to take the Dodgers.
I agree.
Here it boom. Dodgers.
8-13, Reds
course you
at
do.
Phillies. 3-game series. I agree.
Please. Like, just talked about this. I do.
By the way, I won last week 2-0, so I think I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, okay.
8-17, Red Sox at Yankees. 2-game series.
Wait, 2-game series? Split.
I'm going Yankees take them both. You hear the footsteps coming. We're right there tied.
Oh, yeah, okay.
8-14, NFL preseason. Jets at Giants. A lot of traveling there for that game.
Okay, so if I break everything down, offense, Giants, defense, Giants, special teams, Giants, coaching.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough one. Front office, Giants. So we'll give the coaching to the Jets, but give the W to the Giants. 4
I'm
picks.
going Giants as well. I think so we're just going on the Red Sox Yankees matchup, but I think we got to see what
right?
Zach Wilson does. So let's see what he does in his first game.
4 picks.
If you enjoyed the show, tune in next week as we break down the Patriots versus Philly. Their preseason matchup will be on next Thursday night. And we'll continue to talk about the Major League Baseball races that are going on. And we'll see if my prediction comes true and the Yankees are actually tied with the Red Sox after next week. Once again, thank you for joining us. We're on Rhode Island Broadcast, and we're on every Friday night at 6 p.m. on YouTube and Facebook. Don't forget to check out our other show, The Wrestling Den. That's on every Thursday night at 7 p.m. with Rick and Nick. Make sure you follow us on Sports Unfolded, at Sports Unfolded on Facebook and Twitter, at Broadcasting RI on Twitter. And then check us out on Twitch, Rhode Island _broadcasting and T-Smooth73. And as we normally do, we end our show. We're going with our final thought. Our final thought doesn't necessarily have to be sports related. It could be about anything going on in the world today. I'm going first, Ron, so I'll take my final thought. So my final thoughts on the Little League World Series that starts this Wednesday. ESPN, I know, will be broadcasting it. I think they have already started doing some of the regional broadcasting. But just thinking about how some of these kids, this is their one shining moment to actually, have that moment. It's great to see ESPN do something like this because, again, if you normally think about it, why would they cover it? But so many families get to see their kids play in these games and just have those memories. And now they'll be, forever there. They can always tape it, record it, have it for a lifetime, show their kids when they get older, their grandkids. So I think it was just a great thing that ESPN does. I hope the kids do well. I hope it's a great tournament, and I wish all the kids well. But that's my final thought.
Very good. It's always nice to support those kids too. So get out there to the Little League games and support them. My final thought goes out to the New Orleans Saints organization. It came down that they were putting in for their games at home have to show proof of being vaccinated or a negative test within 72 hours of the game for COVID, and you must also wear masks at the games. And for being in a state that heavily disagrees with mask mandates, I think is admirable for the team to do this, and it is the right thing to do. And I think every team should follow suit and do, because, ladies and gentlemen, we are in the middle of a pandemic, and of it until people realize that all the politics that got involved needs to be out of a pandemic. Like we have to finally this up, and people need to do what the right thing to do is. You have to. It's not just you that you have to worry about. You have to worry about many elderly, many kids, and to be honest, now Delta is filling up hospitals with kids, and that is the last thing I want to see. And so be responsible, do the right thing, and every sport after that should follow suit.
Great point, Ron. Again, it's a serious topic, so it's great to see that teams are starting to look at how to protect their fans and their players. So, great job to the organization. Thank you for joining us tonight, Ron. Great show. Wish we didn't have those delays, but everybody out there, appreciate all the fans that have watched. Appreciate all the support, and we'll do it again next week, episode 27. Take care, everybody. Have a great night.
Take care.